Hello my lovelies and welcome to this video. My name is Alya and I'm so glad you stopped by. So today I have a bag of scarves here, my beautiful shopping bag full of scarves that were gifted to me by a dear friend, and I'm really excited to show you what I'm going to do with them. So stick around and see what's going to happen. This is a beautiful floral number, which is actually really interesting because it's got this completely blank space in the middle, which is actually really convenient for design. I'm going to have it folded in half with the open side at the bottom because I want to try and show the most of this beautiful pattern. So I'm going to bring it up. It's going to run my hand across the top of my head so that I can create a pocket here and a pocket here so there's no folds. And I might even just tie it off just there. This is a beautiful cotton feeling scarf. It's quite a lovely texture to it. Doesn't have any tags, I don't think. No, it does. It's an Israeli scarf and I have absolutely no idea what it's made from. It does feel really beautiful and soft. Okay, so I'm just going to throw this half over the top and then bring this half over, meant to be over the top and down the side, over the side here, and tuck it away underneath. Now I have intentionally not put any shapers or velcro or anything, or velvet or holders or anything. I've just got my hair in a bun and that's all I've done. So now it kind of naturally spread out there, so I've just gathered it into a tail. I'm just going to give it a few twists just so that make sure it's nice and tight and in place, and then find the little kind of fold here and tuck it in on itself. There we go. What a very cute and very simple design, very pretty. And what we were managed to do, especially if we just shuffle these around a little bit, is really demonstrate the gorgeous pattern. And because we threw that first one over the top, there's also beautiful florals at the back of the scarf. So absolutely divine. So easy to work with this scarf. This is one of those ones that you can do 1,000 different designs, as long as they're not too requiring of a long scarf, because it's a little bit shorter than some of the others I've got. Always put it down a little bit asymmetrically and achieve length that way. So I've got here a Pashmina, which is actually really, these types of fabrics are really interesting. They can either be really easy to work with or really hard. So I'm just going to give it just a fold over at the back and put it down one longer, one shorter. That's what I meant by getting length out of a scarf. When you do that, you get more length out of one side, you lose it from the other, but it just allows you to do more with the longer one. So I'm just bringing this one over. You can always use a little pin for thicker scarves because they don't like to stay in place on their own. Just to hold it, or sometimes even that doesn't work apparently. It just depends on how dexterous you are and what you can achieve without a pin. Let's bring the other one up. Just going to give it a bit of a twist at the top. Tuck away these tassels. I'm just going to fold it back in on itself on the other side. And what this is going to let me do is have a little bit of like a tail, just a short one, demonstrating these really beautiful gold tassels on the other side. And what that twist allowed us to achieve was just a little bit more of an interesting pattern through here. If we just adjust all these folds, we get this really beautiful kind of crown shape. Look at that, how stunning. Again, really easy, and all that we did was we just laid it down a little bit asymmetrically so that one is longer, and then it gave me all this extra length to go around. But because it was a bit short on the other side, I just did use a little dressmaker's pin, just like that, just to hold it in place. You don't really even need it. In fact, there it is there. I can get rid of it now. Just to hold it down temporarily. You can just as easily use anything, a hair clip, a bobby pin, or if you're good enough where you can hold it with one hand and twist with the other, You're a legend. So you ladies might be really familiar with these triangle scarves, and they're often really hard to do anything interesting with, but also really convenient when it's hot. Where'd you go? So I've just put this one upside down. I'm just tying it off on an angle. 2 ties on the angle, and then we're going to take this and twist it in to that knot, and automatically you get this really simple scarf still. You know, not able to do terribly much if you're using just a single scarf, but you definitely get more with the design. And then you can just use the tails to tie around very loosely around the hair, so you don't lose your shape, but you create a little bit more interest. Again, you make sure that the scarf holds in place and the hair at the top doesn't get revealed, and you get rid of those extra little dangly bits. You can even tuck them away kind of into themselves as well if you wanted to. You could add a shape for this one if you've got enough material, but this is just one little way of creating a bit of interest in a very, very simple scarf. The other thing you can do is you can layer them. So here's another one which is a little bit longer, and it's a plain color, it's grey. This particular scarf doesn't have much going on in the grey department, except for that it's got a bit of silver through it. But if we just undo that last bit of the design, you can just go the opposite way with it. Add an extra layer. So let the triangle bit fall down, just twist it at the back, bring it up, and somehow involve all the bits if you wanted to. Again, if you couldn't do the twist with your fingers like I just did, you're more than welcome to use a pin to hold one side down while you twist the other side, and then I just tied them all down together. And you get this slightly more interesting version, definitely more volume, definitely more coverage, but still very light and fluffy. And the grey really brings out the silver in the scarf, so it doesn't have to be an exact colour match as long as they do mesh well together. That's that one. So I've got this really thin scarf here that I've just twisted around the front to create my V. I'm just going to take the rest of the material, bring it around the back and tie it off. So that's just a very simple thing. You could probably even leave it like that if you were really not bothered. But you could also add layering and fun to something like this. It is got a bit of a purple kind of tone to it, but any kind of grey works with any other kind of grey in my opinion a lot of the time. So this is a really bright sash. I mean, you could stretch it out and use it, but it's a sash. So I'm just going to follow the grain of that first, or the top twist I should say, and also tie it off at the back. There we go. Take the 2 tails on either one of their sides. You can do some interesting twists if you wanted to. Just make sure that the label is hidden. And again, just following that same direction, but maybe just coming forward at the right last bit. And again, you could pin it at this point if you wanted to. And then just bringing up the next 2. Just remember, you don't ever have to get it perfect in your first maneuver. You can be fixed later when it's more secure. Bring it over, tuck it away. Just going to twist it in. It's going to look like it's a part of the original pattern. And once it's up and safe, and tuck this away. Probably would need a non-slip headband for this one, but it would stay on all day. It's just hard to maneuver the slippery fabric when you're actually getting it on. And now, ta-da! Just gonna, so it's not so wide and a little bit more tall. That's the other thing. You do need to figure out what suits your shape of face. If you have a bit of a longer face, I wouldn't do a V at all. If you want to cover your hair more, I wouldn't do a V at all, because you will inevitably reveal your hair a little bit, and you will inevitably elongate your face a little bit. So something just to think about. Also, if you do want it a little wider rather than tall, that can be done. If you want a little bit taller rather than wide, that can be done. And whatever you do to it, it'll stay there. Unless something smacks you on the head in the process of the day, which has been known to happen more than once. This next scarf is absolutely magical. It looks like it's been dyed with beetroot or something. It's just the most insane color. You could call it a hot pink, or you could call it maybe even magenta. I'm not even sure. It's stunning, and the black that it's mixed with is amazing too. Now, I didn't lay it down the best, but I'm actually going to save this one for a different video, because I would really love to see what it's like mixed with either another shade of pink, or maybe even a blue to contrast, or perhaps a black to see how it can brighten up a plain scarf. But all I've done is I've just literally chucked it on my head, given it a twist and tied it off. Haven't even done a good job of it, and the Tichel's ready to fly. This is a really great scarf. This is one of those Pashmina ones that are easy to work with. These are really throw it on and go, and the color is so insanely beautiful that it needs nothing. How amazing is that? So just to repeat, all I really did was I threw it on. I didn't even fold it or anything. Bring it up, twist it, bring it around the back, and tie it off. Obviously each time it will fall however it wants to as well, and off it goes. But these little black tassels are really just giving me so many creative ideas of what you could weave into it or add it onto. Even a piece of black lace. How stunning would that be? This is almost a perfect evening piece with it, like a black gown. With the right makeup, this could really, really absolutely shine. But I'm really tempted to get, go out and buy a piece of just black lace, just a strip of black lace, and see what I can bring out of this absolutely divine, just stunning color and design. Really, really pretty. It's kind of floral, but it's more than that. It just reminds me of beautiful lace, and I'd love to play on that. Okay, my lovelies, I hope you really enjoyed that video. I really love playing with the Tichels. As you saw, I was just pulling them out of a bag, just having a go with them. No pre-planning, no pre-trial. I was just as surprised as you were to see what was coming out of the bag next. So completely genuine first impression. I wanted to, just show you the ease of, or the stresslessness of what you can do with a scarf. All you got to do is pop it on your head and let the magic happen, and just trust the process. There's always a beginning and a middle and an end. You always need to know how to start tying and how to tie it off, and the rest just kind of happens. So I hope that you saw that, and there's a lot more that we can do with that bag of Tichels. Really looking forward to bringing you a video that combines them with some other scarves and really brings them to life, because I feel like a lot of them would look so stunning in a combination rather than just on their own. So we'll definitely do that one in the near future. So as you can tell, I've had to switch to the phone because technical difficulties that I didn't realize at the time. So the last little bit is missing, but definitely still subscribe. Definitely hit that button, and you can see a whole list of Tichel tutorials of all kinds there in the catalogs. Also, of course, head over to Instagram for more regular contact and more regular content. Instagram is definitely the place to be. You can send me a message there and let me know what you'd like to see more of and things like that. As always, I hope that you're doing so well and staying really healthy, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye!